Hello and welcome to Channel Sport this morning. It's great to have you join us again. I am Tayo Salam. Coming up on the show, starting off with great news from Team Nigeria at the Tokyo 2020 Olympics. That's because Folashade Oluwafemi has won another gold medal for the country at the Summer Games going on right now. Also on the program, Super Eagles camp has opened for the World Cup qualifiers against Liberia and Cape Verde. Still on sport this morning, Lionel Messi makes highly anticipated debut for PSG in the French Ligue 1. All right, so this is just the outlook for the program. There's still a lot more to come during the course of the program. But before then, I will be checking in at the Tokyo 2020 Paralympics. You're welcome back to Channel Sport this morning. Time for our coverage of the Tokyo 2020 Paralympics. And like I said during the headlines, big news or good news coming from the camp of Team Nigeria. But before we go into all of that, Awoniyi Nwachukwu is in the house, and we're going to be going on this incredible trip across the world of sports together. Yeah.
It's good to be back, Tayo. Great week for Nigeria.
Indeed.
And the Paralympians are doing us, very, very proud in Tokyo, Japan. We said it here last week.
We did.
They always do us proud, especially in the powerlifting events.
Yep.
We have shown our dominance. 5 gold medals. 3 gold medals, 2 bronze medals from the same event. It shows that if we give them more, they will give us more.
You're spot on. That's the way it is. Let's just go straight and give you the latest updates coming from Tokyo, where Folashade Oluwafemi, like I said, has won Team Nigeria's 3rd gold medal in the powerlifting event, this time in the 86 kg category. First attempt was 147, very successful, and she proceeded to lift 149. Easy peasy for Oluwafemi. 151, the next one. And after that, she decided to go and break the world record as well as the Paralympics record by lifting 152 kg. And that victory, Awoniyi has gotten Team Nigeria's overall medals tally to 5, which is very impressive.
Yeah, very, very impressive, Tayo. These special people have always given their best. And she has created another record. They are always, this team is composed of a lot of world record holders. Lucy Ejike used to be, I think she's a veteran, maybe age has caught up with her, but she at least got a bronze in this Paralympics. So they have done so well. 5 medals, not a main feat, Tayo.
Not at all.
3 gold medals and 2 bronze medals. And as the events continues, we are expecting that they could win more. Hopefully, other events also could contribute. But it shows that we have a lot of strength in the powerlifting events.
You're spot on. Earlier on Sunday, it was the turn of Bose Omolayo. What an interesting story for this young woman. She's gone from being a hairdresser to being a Paralympic champion. It's a remarkable journey for her. She was in action as well, too, this time in the 79 kg category, and she proceeded to lift 141 kg to set a new Paralympic record. I finished first ahead of Natalia Olenik of Ukraine and Vera Muratova of the Russian Olympic Committee. Yet another gold medal coming from powerlifting.
Yeah, from Omolayo, her story is very, very touching.
Very.
And it shows the Nigerian spirit that we always talk about.
Incredible.
Trying to overcome adversity.
True.
Getting, to the podium. And it's like an inspiration to a lot of people, special people, even able-bodied people that you can do something.
Yep.
You know, you stop complaining that the government has not done this, blaming people for your, you know, for your problems. You can take the bull by the horn like she has done. As a hairdresser, she was doing something and she was still training.
Yeah.
So it doesn't mean that you just sit down somewhere, fold your arms and say, I find myself in this situation, I can't do anything. You can do something. She has shown it that you can do something. And she has put herself in the global map by winning this medal. And by the time they come back, obviously, they will be appreciated.
Of course, they've got to be. I mean, so far we haven't heard anything. I don't know if you've heard anything about it. But surely there's something that's got to be waiting for all of these Paralympians.
Yeah, I expect the minister in his character. You know, the under 20 athletes also got something.
Yep.
The team that did us proud in Nairobi, Kenya. You know, that record-breaking performance in the under 20 athletics world championship. They were rewarded. You know, the ones that were eligible for reward. But we also expect that these Paralympians who have perpetually every time doing us proud at the Paralympic Games, at the Commonwealth Games, you know, they brave all the odds. They, you know, do everything in their strides to get us medals. Should be rewarded.
Absolutely. No doubt about it. Before we leave the Paralympics, Awoniyi last time out in Rio, that's about 5 years ago now, they won 8 gold medals. They've won 3 now. It's looking like they might not get to that, you know, to that haul of 5 years ago. But I mean, it's still, at the end of the day, will be a very impressive outing for them.
Yeah, but you know what happens, Tayo, is that the world is advancing.
Moving
you know,
as well.
And at this level, you study your opponents. You know, so I mean, serious countries, what they do, they already know the number of contingent. They know our strengths, so they study us very well. They plan with that. So if you are not planning, you are going to remain static. So I think this is a wake-up call to our administrators to ensure that even if we don't win up to that 8 gold medals, we give these special people what they need.
Yep.
Because I still look at some of the wheelchairs that they used, especially in the table tennis event and all that, and some of them are rickety, they are decrepit. You can't compete with the best with obsolete equipment, facilities. You know, the talents are there. We need to encourage them. We need to give them the best.
Yeah.
So that in the next Paralympics in Paris, we'll be able to surpass what we did in Rio. But as it's going now, Tayo, I'm a bit, I want to be modest.
Yeah.
I don't think we'll be able to surpass the record we achieved in Rio.
Yeah, it's not looking very likely at all. But it is what it is. 8 gold medals last in Rio, 2 silver and 2 bronze medals for a total of 12. That was Nigeria's you know, best outing at the Olympics, at the Paralympics. But these ones they're not doing too bad.
They're not. And it's really not their fault.
It's not.
It's not their fault. And let's also put it in the right perspective, Tayo. The coronavirus pandemic affected a lot of things. And
it's good.
You know, so we maybe that also dampened, that also truncated some of their training programs, some of the tournaments they were supposed to attend, you know, to gain exposure and put themselves in the right, you know, in the right shape for the Paralympics.
You're spot on mentioning the pandemic. Lucy Ejike actually mentioned that as well prior to the commencement of the games. That affected her training, and she lost you know, shape.
Yeah.
She had to really work hard to regain some form of shape going into the Olympics, and perhaps that explains why she just could manage a bronze medal. Earlier we saw pictures coming from the track and field. Unfortunately, so far, not looking great on the tracks for Nigeria. Athletics is actually one of those medals that has in the past won Nigeria a lot of laurels, 13 gold medals in total for the country coming from that sport. But at the moment, at the minute, it's not looking very good.
Yeah, I
mentioned the wheelchairs there.
Yeah, you know, you need a lot of facilities. You know, very top quality facilities for the Paralympics, and you don't go competing with the best. You know, look at some of when you look at the facilities that the opponents parade.
Yeah.
If you don't even have very strong character, you know, deep in strength, you could get demoralized when you file out and you see that you have been let down by your country. But these athletes always give their best. So we need to look at it. And how do we go about it? Is, the adopted talent can also be extended to them.
Why not?
Yeah, and you start it early. The next Paralympic game starts in Paris. It's almost around the corner because we are really behind schedule. This is 2021. It will start in 2024. So we start arranging to get sponsorship for these special people.
Yeah, indeed. Once again, congratulations to Folashade Oluwafemi as well as Bose Omolayo as well, winning gold for Nigeria in the powerlifting events of the Tokyo 2020 Paralympics. That's the end of our coverage for the Paralympics for today. When we come back, the show will continue. Stick with us. Away from the Paralympics, let's go now to Kigali, Rwanda. Not great news are coming out of that competition, the FIBA AfroBasket. The Tigers were in action in the final Group C game and they lost to Cote d'Ivoire. No surprises at all. The Ivorians are a very, very good side, better than Kenya and better than Mali, the teams Nigeria beat earlier in the competition. But the good news or the positive from this loss is Nigeria still got a chance to qualify for the quarterfinals of the FIBA AfroBasket. They will go head-to-head against Uganda for spot in the last 8. But before then, Oye, your thoughts? Surprised by this result against Cote d'Ivoire?
No, not quite surprised.
Not surprised, okay.
You see, Cote d'Ivoire and Nigeria were unbeaten going into yesterday's game.
Yeah.
So it shows that obviously they are the best two teams in that group.
True.
And when you look at the physicality of the Ivorian side, they are very strong. They defend very well, and they make good use of the advantages, and that's exactly what they use. And we also look at our team. A lot of people were saying, okay, we did well at the Olympics, relatively, and we should translate. It's a different ballgame. This is Africa. Sometimes we should realize that on the African continent, you use more of your physicality, and that's what the Ivorians did. So it was not really a surprise for me that we lost. And our hope is not lost, Tayo.
Nope.
We are going to play the quarterfinal classification game against Uganda.
Yeah.
And if we are able to overcome Uganda, then you have Cape Verde waiting in the wings. So we just wish the Tigers well and hope that they advance.
We hope that they advance in that game against Cote d'Ivoire. Nigeria lost the first quarter, came back to win the second quarter, but could not sustain the momentum as Ivory Coast won the third and the fourth quarters to prevail 77-68, and that was enough for them to advance into the quarterfinals, while Nigeria will wait to take on Uganda for a place in the last 8. That's going to be tomorrow. Results coming from yesterday's games played in Kigali. Kenya defeated Mali 72-66. While Nigeria, of course, lost that game against Cote d'Ivoire. South Sudan managed to get a 2-point victory over Uganda, 88-86. Senegal, one of the favorites for this tournament, absolutely annihilated Cameroon, 98-65. And yeah, there you go for today. It's going to be Egypt taking on Angola, Rwanda taking on Guinea. All these teams are looking for sports in the last 8. Let's get post-game reactions now coming from the D Tigers camp. We're going to get to listen to Coach Mike Brown as well as one of the players.
Well, I'm excited about this from the standpoint that, with this group, this is a new group that we have. It's a young group, and it's an inexperienced group. And we weren't good as a team we weren't good together as a team today. There was a lot of frustration, especially in the first quarter, whether it was out on the floor or on the bench. And so it'd be interesting to see if we can come together over this next 2 days to see if we can get a win against whoever our opponent is. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited about the challenge, and hopefully it comes out on the right end for us.
I mean, as a team, we wasn't together. We didn't respond well to adversity, and we had a lot of turnovers. And when that happens, as a team, we got to come together as one. That didn't happen today.
Uzodinma Otomi, one of the Tigers players, are reacting and admitting that Nigeria didn't play too well against Cote d'Ivoire, but they've got another opportunity tomorrow against Uganda to advance into the quarterfinals. And Coach Mike Brown has said it all. I mean, he said it right before the competition started. It's a new team. All of the guys that went to the Olympics wanted to come, but unfortunately the rules didn't allow them. 5 players in training camp in Oakland. The other players had to join them in Kigali. So the situation surrounding their preparations wasn't ideal at all, and it was always going to be a difficult task. But so far, so good. Let's see what they can do tomorrow against Uganda.
Yeah, I mean, it's really difficult, and it's really not the fault of anybody.
Nope.
The Olympic Games had to be postponed to 2021. The AfroBasket has a time lag every 2 years. So nobody planned that it will almost be at the same time, just a few weeks after the Olympic Games. So you have to make best use of the situation. And I think the good thing is that the coach, Mike Brown, is very honest with his players.
Yeah.
And I think our coaches should learn from how these expatriate coaches address press conferences.
Yeah.
You have to be honest, say the truth. So that everybody will flow and know that this is what the situation you are facing. So that whatever happens will not be held responsible. That's exactly what he has done.
Yeah.
And I think going against Uganda, we should be able to get the
victory, right?
And play Cape Verde. I've watched some of the matches of Cape Verde. They are very, very, very strong side.
Are you kidding me? They're super strong.
So if we're able to overcome Uganda, we should brace up for a very strong game against Cape Verde.
Indeed. So as it is right now, Cape Verde, Cote d'Ivoire, Senegal, and Tunisia have all qualified for the quarterfinals, while the last 4 spots will be decided amongst Angola, Egypt, Guinea, Kenya, Nigeria, Rwanda, South Sudan, and Uganda. Hopefully Nigeria is going to be a part of that competition and don't go on to be eliminated like the likes of Cameroon, Central African Republic, Congo DR, and Mali. So that's it for the FIBA AfroBasket. Tomorrow, we're going to do a comprehensive preview of that game involving Nigeria and Uganda. Away from basketball now, let's go on to football. It's exciting times for Nigeria. That's because the Super Eagles are in town already. They're all getting ready for the match against Liberia and Cape Verde again, this time around in football. World Cup qualifiers, Qatar 2022. 5 players, before we came on air, perhaps the camp would have swollen after then. But then it's Daniel Akpeyi. There's also Adekunle Adeleke, not very familiar with that one. A lot of Nigerians, but he's in camp. There's also Alex Iwobi, Kelechi Iheanacho, as well as Wilfred Ndidi. These are all the players in camp getting set for the match against Liberia. It's great to see these guys are taking this game seriously.
Yeah, they need to tie on. You see, Coach General was saying yesterday that this evening he's expecting about 60% of the players invited to camp. So I guess that he has spoken to them and they have given him their words that they will be around. And for Kelechi Iheanacho, Alex Iwobi, and Wilfred Ndidi, it's understandable because they played on Saturday. And the flight from London to Nigeria shouldn't take more than 6 hours. So I think they have shown tremendous professionalism. It underlines the kind of commitment and seriousness they have attached to the World Cup qualifiers. And why not style?
It's the World Cup.
Everybody wants to play. Every player wants to play at the World Cup.
Yes.
So you need to be to report to camp early and train, get in proper shape for the game. And in Africa now, you underrate any team at your peril. So you can just say that it's Liberia, but they could come here and shock you. So you need to be well prepared for the team.
Indeed. Sierra Leone wasn't so far away, so I imagine they still remember what happened in that game. And no one is going to be underrating anybody.
Yeah, very true. Very true. I mean, we don't want such thing to happen again.
Nah, cannot repeat itself again. We need to go on a break now. When we come back, I'll say a lot more on Channel Sport this morning. Stick with us. You're welcome back to Channel Sport this morning. Still talking football. Let's go to the German Bundesliga and give you updates from that league where Nigerian striker Awoniyi cannot stop scoring at the moment. Was in action yesterday for Union Berlin. This time they took on Borussia Mönchengladbach, and Awoniyi happened to score the winning goal in that particular match. It takes his tally for the season to 3 goals in 3 games and 5 overall for the season after scoring in the UEFA Conference League qualifiers as well. It's good to see Taiwo playing good football again. One of those guys from the 2013 World Cup winning sets, and career kind of stalled because of the endless loans, 7 in total.
Yeah.
But he's found a home now, and it's not surprised that he's settled and he's doing what he knows how to do best, which is score goals.
Absolutely. I mean, Tayo, for everybody, you need to be settled, and
in anything you're doing in life,
anything you do,
stability.
You play in one club before you know it. You have loaned out to another club. You start before you understand the philosophy of the coach. You bond with your teammates. The season has ended. He played for Union Berlin on loan last season, so he already understands how the coach wants him to play. His teammates understands how. He wants his passes across, maybe horizontal, vertically, and all that. And he has shown it. 3 goals in 3 matches. Absolutely impressive.
Indeed.
And everybody's wondering why this player, this striker, has not been invited to the national team. That's the question we are all asking.
Of course. I mean, why do you think that's the case? I mean, considering the players that got called, and considering the fact that a lot of those guys will be heading back to England after the game against Liberia, won't be available for the next one against Cape Verde. I mean, and they still couldn't get a look in.
Yeah, that's why we're asking a lot of questions. I mean, the Bundesliga has not placed any restriction on players. And for goodness sake, Awoniyi is playing in the Bundesliga. It's one of the top-rated leagues in the world. So he's not playing in the backwater countries of Europe. So why is he not being invited? But Oliro can answer that question because he takes the glory and he takes the blame, as the case may be. So, but we still insist that if a player is doing so well, what other criteria do you need to invite him to the national team? That is the question.
Yeah, indeed. That's for Gennaro Rowe and his coaching crew to answer. I'm sure they have their reasons. And the good thing is that Taiwo is still young, 24, thereabouts. So if he continues to play at this level, they can't ignore him for too long. Eventually, we'll get a call-up. And hopefully he takes his chance as well with the Super Eagles of Nigeria. That's it for football on the foreign scene. Let's come back home now and talk about the National League, the Nigerian National League, which is the most important league in the world. News coming in. Final 8 is all set now. And the story is that Enugu State will be staging the season-ending promotion playoffs at the Nnamdi Azikiwe Stadium that's in Enugu. The Enugu State government endorsed the hosting of the playoffs at the multipurpose 22,000 capacity stadium next week. 8 teams will be chasing the 4 available tickets to the Nigerian Professional Football League in a 5-day competition starting from September the 7th through the 11th. The teams are Shooting Stars, Remo Stars, Ekiti United, Bendel Insurance will fight for 2 slots in the Southern Conference, while Niger Tornadoes, Gombe United, Elkanemi Warriors, and DMD are expected to jostle for the 2 slots in the Northern Conference. So all is set, despite all of the issues that has plagued this league all season long. We have arrived at this stage.
Yeah, they call it the most important league in the country.
But shouldn't they sure don't act that way?
Though? Yeah, no. It's, talk is cheap.
Yeah, very cheap indeed.
Yeah, but it's good that finally the playoffs will be holding in Enugu. They have a venue. The state government has agreed to, bankroll. They have complained of a lack of funds. So the government is kind of bailing out the NNL board. So the 8 teams will go there and jostle, for the Premier League spots. And for me, it's a fantastic idea. You see, when you play at a neutral venue for all the teams, it means that you are likely going to see the best 4 teams emerge and gain promotion into the Premier League. You are likely going to see fair officiating. You are likely not going to see hooliganism at the venue because it's a neutral venue. So we hope that the best referees will be selected for these games.
Okay.
Because it's very, very key, very important. If you are going to gain promotion to the early division, you must work hard for it.
Gotta do it on merit.
It must be on merit, you know, and not through the back door.
Indeed, you still ended up your comments by saying we hope. So it's not, nothing is a guarantee in this part, especially when it has to do with the NNL. Like I said, neutral ground. There's absolutely no reason why it shouldn't be a smooth competition where the best teams emerge winners and get promoted to the league. So that's what we're hoping for at the NNL playoffs at the Nnamdi Azikiwe Stadium in Enugu. I want to put you on the spot quickly. What teams do you think will come out of this at the end of the day?
You are putting me on the firing line.
Apologies.
Because I know I have very close friends amongst this the management of all these teams.
Okay.
For Shooting Stars, you know, during the regular season, they were quite outstanding. You know, they won more matches than any other team in that group. So I want to pick Shooting Stars.
Shooting Stars,
you know,
right.
For sentimental reasons. You know, Shooting Stars is very close to us here in Lagos, so we can go to Ibadan and watch games. Apart from that, I think they have done well. You know, they recruited well and they play good football. And more importantly, they have a brand new stadium, so you can go there and enjoy good football. You really don't have any reason not to play good football.
Shooting Stars.
So for the other three teams in the group, Remo Stars, Ekiti United, Bendel Insurance. You know, Remo Stars, owned by a private individual, is doing so well. You know, he has been able to invest so much in infrastructure, in facilities, and sometimes we have seen players like Ogenekare Tebo used to play for them, and good enough during the holiday he came and identified with the team. So it's between, I feel, it's between Remo Stars and Bendel Insurance, but Ekiti United also will fancy their chances. So Tayo, I choose Shooting Stars in that group, and maybe between Remo Stars and Bendel Insurance.
Remo Stars and Bendel Insurance.
I will not allow you to put me into trouble.
There you go. That's a confirmation for the Southern Conference teams in the playoffs. Shooting Stars, Remo Stars, Ekiti United, and Bendel Insurance. We're going for Shooting Stars, definitely, and one of Remo or Bendel Insurance. In the Northern Conference, it's Niger Tornadoes, Gombe United, El Kanemi Warriors, and DMD. This looks a bit more straightforward than the Southern, or am I getting it twisted?
No, it's not straightforward.
It's not straight.
You know, at this level, Kyle, at this level, we have seen a situation where a team was on top during the regular season, and during the playoff, they came last. It has happened. You know, so well, you might look at Niger Tornadoes, Gombe United, Warriors. These are names that have played in the Premier League. So you may be tempted to choose 2 out of the 3 teams.
All right.
You know, but I think Tornadoes will fancy their chances, and maybe Academy Warriors.
Academy Warriors. Yeah. Okay, we'll see how it all pans out at the end of the competition. The draw for the playoffs will be conducted on Monday. That's the 6th of September, while the opening ceremony and the first game will take place the very next day. Stick with us on Channel Sport this morning for everything concerning the Nigeria National League playoffs. Still talking football, but let's go abroad. Let's go back to England, to Europe, to England to be specific, and give you updates coming from the Premier League. 3 games went down yesterday. It's very interesting results for you. Burnley and Leeds ended 1 apiece. Patrick Bamford celebrating his maiden England call-up with the equalizer for Leeds United. Tottenham, 1-0 to the Tottenham over Watford. Back-to-back 1-0 victories for Tottenham. They really won Arsenal sports and everything. I don't know, but good win for Tottenham. The Wolves and Manchester United ended 1-0 in favor of Manchester United. It was Mason Greenwood scoring yet again to give United all 3 points, even though they didn't play too well. United are now unbeaten in their last 28 Premier League away games. 18 wins and 10 draws, which is a new record for the longest unbeaten away run in English football history. A lot of this, I mean, that's very commendable for Manchester United, even though they've not been playing the Manchester United way, but they're getting all of the points and they've been able to set this remarkable record.
I think they'll prefer to not to play very well and get
win.
the 3 points.
Yeah.
Yes, I want to agree with you that Wolves were, much better
come on.
in that
United
game,
got
and they'll
lucky.
feel hard done that they didn't get a point out of that game. But the hallmark of big teams is that when you don't even play well, you are trying to grind out a victory. And for Manchester United, Mason Greenwood almost all the time, coming out to rescue the Red Devils. Well, we hope that going into the weeks, the Ronaldo, when he comes in, will be able to do something for them. But judging by what they played last night, you might feel strongly that they didn't deserve, to win the game.
Yeah, you're spot on. I think even United fans will agree that they got out of jail. They got out of jail big time in that particular game. For Wolves, once again, their undoing was wastefulness in front of goal. They created loads of chances, but once again, could not take them, just like they did not against Tottenham last weekend. And United found a way to get all 3 points. United fans, they're happy, even though we have them a lot in the studios and around the building. But good win for Manchester United. The game was obviously dominated by the agreement or the return of Cristiano Ronaldo. And after the game, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has been talking about that particular coup, how they were able to pull it off, to bring Cristiano Ronaldo back to Old Trafford.
A top performance is, of course, we need to get all the paperwork done, which I'm not part of, but hopefully we can get that sorted and we can announce it 100%. And then he's away with Portugal playing the games. He's still, I think they've got 3 games. His last game is on the Tuesday. So getting back to Manchester with Bruno and hopefully be involved as soon as possible. Let's get Cristiano signed first. And of course, he's not signed to sit on the bench. Of course, he's not. He's going to he's going to make us a better team.
The Ronaldo fever definitely gripping the red side of Manchester. Interestingly, Ronaldo was supposed to be on his way to the blue side, the noisy neighbors, the champions. And for whatever reason, City did not go all out, refused to pay the transfer fee that was requested by Juventus. And Ronaldo had to look for alternatives, and eventually it's gone back to where it all started. It started at Sports in Lisbon, but you get my point. That's where he made his name. Initially won 18 goals in 292 games between 2003 and 2009. So is highly revered in those parts of the world. But United fans are happy, and they don't care that he actually flirted or he wanted to go to City. The fact that he's back at Old Trafford is enough for them.
Yeah. Juventus actually offered Ronaldo to Man City because they felt that Man City had the financial muscle, to pay and take the 500,000 euros wages off their body. And along the line, everybody felt he was going to the Etihad. Then from the Blues on Friday, it emerged that Ronaldo will be signing for Manchester United, and a lot of things went, behind the scene. Sir Alex Ferguson also calling Ronaldo to convince him, and some ex-Manchester United players, also
they
trying
all
to
play their
convince
parts.
him. And, it shows the love they have for Man United. And it's another challenge for Ronaldo. Yes, he played for Manchester United in the past when he was much younger. Now he's older.
36, will be 37 in February.
And, let's see how it goes. I watched Messi yesterday. I noticed he was struggling to adjust to the style of the PSG.
Okay.
So let's see what happens when Ronaldo eventually makes his second debut for the Old Trafford side.
All right. Indeed, while we wait for Cristiano Ronaldo to make his second debut, Rafael Varane made his first debut for Manchester United yesterday against Wolves, and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer looks very impressed with his performance.
top performance. This was welcome to the Premier League. Tempo, hustle, bustle, tackle, have to defend, counter attacks. He's good in the air. He's so composed on the ball, and he's so experienced, and nothing faces him. And he was good in the dressing room before the game, half time, and so I'm delighted with his performance. I thought he showed his class.
Classy performance from Rafael Varane in his Manchester United debut. Your early thoughts on Varane and Maguire, that partnership that looks amazing on paper, but yesterday we saw them breached multiple times by Wolves who just could not convert their chances.
Yeah, they are playing for the first time. Yeah. And I think it's good management that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has identified that he has problem in the centre back position. That's pairing. Maguire has established himself as the number one, central defender in that team. But he needs somebody to pair Maguire. He has done that and unsuccessfully. Varane is well tested. He's an established player. So maybe as they play, the centre backs will have to understand themselves.
Yep.
Maybe since they are playing for the first time, that understanding is not there. One needs to play as a libero and one needs to move forward. So as they play more matches, I think their partnership will get stronger.
Okay,
yeah.
Straightforward. Partnership will get better going forward for Rafael Varane and Harry Maguire. All right, so that's it for that. Let's go on to touch on what happened on Saturday, Super Saturday, the big game between Chelsea and Liverpool. Somewhat was spoiled by that red card for Reece James. The coaches, interestingly, Thomas Tuchel, as well as Jurgen Klopp, all agree that was a very harsh decision.
These early red cards, of course, not at Liverpool when we play, but in general, it's for me a bit a spoiler of the game. Nobody, I think, wants to see that for 45 minutes. They want to see a high-level game. And even me, when I'm in front of TV, I don't like it. I have no solution now for it and no better idea in the moment. But in general, it is a spoiler.
I never liked double punishment, but if somebody ever listened to me about rule changes or rules, then a lot of things would look completely different, but they still look like they look. So it was really a waste of time to talk about it. Yeah, it was absolutely harsh. So, spoils the game, yeah, probably. So it changed everything. I liked our first half. We were really good. We caused Chelsea really problems. And because of problems in the second half as well, it was an incredible, intense game for Chelsea as well. Come on. But it did well. That's why I deserved a point, obviously. But I would have loved to see the game as well in an 11-11 situation. Let's have a look.
Jurgen Klopp would have loved to see 11v11 against Chelsea, and so, let's see who comes out top. The match ended 1 apiece. Mo Salah cancelling out Kai Havertz opener for Chelsea. I mean, two managers agreeing that the red card was harsh.
Yeah, typical of Jurgen Klopp. Very straightforward man, very decent. Tuchel, you can understand Tuchel's sentiments.
Yeah, but for the opposition
Klopp,
manager,
it's very unusual for a coach that would have,
benefited
from that decision, coming out to say that it was harsh. But for me, Tayo, I didn't envy the referee. Sometimes this thing happens so fast. Without VAR, there's no way he could have noticed that handball incident. You could argue for and against, but it was a decision that he had to take, and he took it.
Yeah, you're spot on. We got to be fair to these refs at times. Very, very, tough situation to be in. How to make a decision and went according to the letter of the law, pretty much. So, that's it. We need to go on a break now. We'll come back. We'll be telling you all about Lionel Messi's debut for PSG and the French League on. Welcome back to Channel Sport this morning. Let's go to the French Ligue 1 and tell you that finally Lionel Messi's put on a PSG shirt. Came on for PSG in a game against Reims. It was Mbappe that scored the 2 goals, but this game was all about Lionel Messi playing for the very first time for PSG. And you mentioned earlier that it looked it struggled a bit and still obviously trying to adapt to playing with new players, like absolutely new players, and but it's just the first game.
Yeah, it's the first
Messi
game.
will eventually hit the ground.
Understandably, Tayo, I think Lionel Messi has nothing to prove again.
Of course not.
Yeah, PSG obviously bought him for a lot of factors, not to put so much pressure on him. And before that game, Tayo, another talking point was Kylian Mbappe, accusing PSG of not blocking his move to Real Madrid.
Right.
Eventually, he scored the 2 goals, and Messi came on for Neymar in the second half. But for Messi, I think the game was too fast. It was a very fast-paced game. So coming in the second half, he was struggling to adapt. He tried to make some move, dribble, but the defenders of Reims were equal to the task. Like you said, it's the first game, and maybe as time goes on, he will be able to fit into the style of PSG. Remember that he had an extended vacation after playing at the Copa America. So let's see how it goes.
Let's see how it goes, Messi. Of course, we all know the story by now. Had to leave Barcelona because the club could not afford to register his massive contract, and he's gone to PSG now. Of course, they want to win the Champions League. That is the main target.
Absolutely.
Not even Ligue 1, because you expect PSG to go on and do that. This season, they're perfect. Maximum 12 points from 4 games, even without Messi. So that tells you where the attention is. It's all about the Champions League for Messi and PSG. And interestingly, they'll be taking on Man City in the group stage of the competition. We cannot wait to see that particular game, right?
Yeah, you're spot on, Tayo. I mean, the Champions League is for the big men. It's not. It's not for small players. So perhaps PSG, having gotten so close to the title, we believe that extra experience, that extra push, could come from Lionel Messi.
Right.
And if they get it, that could be the icing on the cake for Messi's, move to PSG.
Yet another Champions League title. Of course, Cristiano Ronaldo will have a thing or two to say about that now that he's moved to Manchester United. Let's take a look at what the papers are saying now. Please just help me with those. And we've got 3 of them. Let's start with your own paper. Sports and Life. Of course, story, dominated by the Super Eagles World Cup qualifiers against Liberia and Cape Verde. Battle against Liberia and Cape Verde. Yana Cho Ndidi orders NFF Parley in London, but the story is now that 5 players are in camp for those 2 games. More are expected before the end of today. Summer transfer again code. Onuachu can still leave. We'll see about that. The window shuts on Tuesday.
Yeah.
All right, so it's not a lot of time left in that one. Jose Moraes in the news is talking about Ronaldo's return to Old Trafford, says it's perfect business.
Yeah,
on and off the field.
On and off the pitch. The stock of United rose, very high on Saturday.
Yep.
And even their website was, bombarded.
Of course.
By a lot of, there was so much traffic. So it's a win-win situation for Manchester United. Business-wise.
Business-wise, I can agree. Yeah. But on the field, is yet to be seen. It's yet to be seen.
It's debatable, actually.
Can he help them win the title, for example, over the likes of City and Chelsea and the likes? Can he do that?
Yeah, the Premier League is fast-paced. So let's see. Yeah.
We'll see about that.
He plays his first game.
Yeah.
And subsequently.
We'll see about that. Premier League list of both Ronaldo and Cavani as United's number 7 this season. What do you think is going to happen in that one? Cavani currently wears that jersey. Ronaldo is synonymous with that number as well. What's going to happen there?
It's a very, very sensitive position. Cavani is a big player.
Yeah,
it's not just any player that you can, cajole and take the shirt off. So they have to look for a way around it. In fact, they're already toying with a similar situation that happened, I think, for Mkhitaryan, when he used a different jersey number in the Premier League and played with a different jersey number in the Champions League.
What's that about? What is that supposed to mean? Perhaps they'll go the way of the Inter Milan players all those years ago. Zamorano and Ronaldo, I believe, phenomenon.
Yeah.
One had to wear. They had to put a +1 somewhere, so just to make it
They'll find a way
add
around
up to 7. They'll find a way. It's not that serious. Chelsea face FA charge. That's over Reece James's red card. Of course, the Chelsea players were not happy
Yeah, they were not
with that
happy,
decision,
but,
so you can't react that way.
Yeah, they can't. They uproar, you know. And,
Can't do that.
You saw Rudiger trying to the penalty spot. The camera captured Rudiger trying to dig a hole in the penalty spot, to make it difficult for Mo Salah.
Man, these players,
These players, they can't do anything.
Anything to win, indeed. Let's move on. West Ham planning late move for Jesse Lingard, £15 million. I wonder what they're waiting for all this while. Benitez hails Iwobi. Iwobi seems to be finding his feet under Rafa at Goodison Park. Let's go to Sporting Complete Sports. That's the next paper for review. Awoniyi responds to Eagles snub with 5 goals, with 5th goal in 6th game. Talked about that already.
Yeah.
If he continues to play at this level, eventually they will call him up. Solskjaer says Ronaldo likes to talk of him being told. Okay, what else? 2022 FIFA World Cup qualifiers. It will be in the Diana in as Eagles camp open. Syria president is also in the news. It says Osimhen deserves 2-game ban. McAllister picks Balogun as star player. That was an Old Firm derby against Celtic. I watched that game. I thought it was very impressive, especially playing as a right back.
Yeah.
So that's another option for getting a role for the Super Eagles.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, he's playing an unfamiliar position, and he did very well.
Very well.
If McAllister said he can play, that Leon Balogun can play in about 3 or 4 positions, and that's good credit to the player.
Indeed. I mean, in modern football, versatility is such an important attribute to have. Okay, still on Complete Sports, Dortmund Chiefs rubbishing Haaland to PSG. Rumors. It's rumors. That's just what it is. Willian to leave £20 million in wages for Arsenal exit. This is very interesting. This guy can't wait to get out of the Emirates to the point that he's going to leave.
He's not getting the playing time at the Emirates, and it's shocking that Arsenal wanted Willian at all cost
in the first place.
Yeah, yanked him off Chelsea because Chelsea couldn't offer him more than a year's contract. They offered him 2 years contract. He got there, showed some flashes. Then thereafter, I mean. The guy went into oblivion.
Indeed, that was a very strange move for Arsenal. They were wondering what was going on, and gave him all of that money and a long-term contract at that. But it looks like that marriage is going to be over very soon. Last paper for review is Sporting Sun. Tiana Ndidi in camp already for the game against Liberia. Sunfire Spurs to the top. 1-0 victory over Wolves. There's also Ronaldo agreeing a £6 million Man United pay cut. I mean, these are all speculation, but we know he's on massive wages. 500K after tax at Juve. All of that investment did not really result into what they wanted, which was to win the Champions League. Now, they're thankful they've gotten him off their wage bill.
That was what they wanted
and,
in the first place.
It's on United now. Yeah, we'll see. AfroBasket 2021, the Tigers fall to Cote d'Ivoire. We talked about that at the start of the show as well. They'll be taking on Uganda for sports in the last 8. Tomorrow, Greenwood snatches the late win against Wolves. This guy is looking to be the real deal, Mason Greenwood.
Yeah, I mean, it's the typical Manchester United story. Players coming from the ranks and grabbing a shot in a team that is full of stars. So he has also, I think, it's an inspiration to young players too. That if you can play very well, you could make
why not?
Yeah, you could make an impression, and that's what he's doing, playing week in and week out, and also scoring crucial goals for the Red Devils.
Indeed, Mason Greenwood. Take a bow wherever you are this morning. Oyewuchi, many thanks for coming on the show again.
My pleasure.
Appreciate your time. You did, right? Yeah. It's always fun on the show. Thank you guys for watching as well. Enjoy the rest of your day. I am Tayo Salam. Bye for now.